Record.
So we're gonna start in a comfortable seat, and I'm gonna sit up on a blanket. So I'm gonna take a blanket off my stack here, and I'm gonna fold it in half. So I've got a nice little bit of height. If you need more height or less height, you can go ahead and take it. And then I'm gonna sit cross-legged, but if that didn't work for me, I could sit in any other position that felt useful. So it might be that you need to sit in a chair. It might be that you want to sit kneeling or with the legs extended. It really doesn't matter. You just find what works for you. And then we'll take the heels of the hands to the upper thighs. It's so interesting. I don't know if you have this experience, but every single time I do this, it's a little bit of a different experience. Like today, I can tell that I worked my inner thighs and my outer thighs earlier. So when I do this, I can really feel the stretch here in my legs. Sometimes I feel it in the low back. Sometimes I feel it in the gluteal muscles. But I think it's a really nice way to give us an understanding of what's happening in our bodies. And then let's take it side to side. So I'm going to press into the heel of one hand, lean away, turn to look up at the sky, back through center, over to the other side. Nice, and just slowly going back and forth, wringing it out, getting a nice stretch along the oblique muscles. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. And then coming back to neutral, we're going to slide the heel of the hand from the hip towards the knee. This has many purposes. One is to elongate the quadricep muscle and get a little massage in. The other is to get any lint or cat hair or dog hair off your pants. She says, I just put these, I have no idea what happens. I just put them on. They're covered already. Oh my goodness, that's another thing with spring, right? Every animal is shedding. Next time the hands slide over the kneecap, hold on, lift yourself up nice and tall. You're using that connection of the hand on the knees to help you gain height through the spine. And then from that height, we'll begin to take the torso around in circles. And so you're in charge of how big you make the circles, how fast you make the circles. It's really up to you. Your arms will kind of provide a little bit of structure. On an exhale, let's go ahead and change direction. Right? So you might be going at a different pace. You might be going faster, slower. You might be going smaller, bigger. All right, as you exhale, change directions again. And now I'm going to invite you to close the eyes and really go inside and let the circles start to become smaller, slower, smaller, slower. And we'll change directions one more time, one last time, making the circles even smaller, even slower, until eventually even that starts to be so internal that externally I might not be able to see any movement at all, but inside you have this tiny revolution. And then even that comes to stillness. Let the hands slide back onto the thighs. You get to decide whether you keep them palm down or turn them palm up. That's up to you. Eyes are gently closed here as you descend the tailbone, lift the sternum. Let the navel drift back. Connect pubic bone to belly button. Nice. Shoulder blades heavy. Balance the head on top of the spine, and maybe that needs its own little set of movements, right? Maybe you have to tip left ear towards left shoulder, right ear towards right shoulder. Maybe you're tipping the chin down and then up, finding little actions that help us figure out where we are. Eventually, the ears become equidistant to the floor beneath you, and let the chin dip just slightly as you lift from the base of the skull. Then relax the jaw, the teeth, the tongue. Soften the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the eyes and their sockets. I'm noticing in my face, my eyebrows are trying to squish together. I'm going to let them spread apart. Maybe you need to do the same, letting the left eyebrow go left, right eyebrow go right. That always seems to happen to me when I've had a busy morning. Maybe the same is true for you. Then go ahead and relax the inner ears as you discover the fact that you are indeed still breathing. Let yourself become mesmerized by your own breath. Can you be so fascinated by your own inhalation, exhalation that everything else starts to drop away? We're just here with this experience of inhaling, of exhaling, as if there were nothing more important. From here, let's take the hands together in front of the heart, palm against palm, fingers elongated. Lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones. We're preparing for sound. I'm inviting you to chant the sound of Om with me 3 times, and then we'll invocate. Go ahead, exhale fully, let go of all the breath you currently have. Then inhale fully to begin. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidvashavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let the chin come towards the chest. Pause here. Just notice. What do you need from your practice today? Notice if anything bubbles up. It might be surprising. It might be something abstract like peace or contentment. It might be something specific like I need to open the back of my calf muscle, right? We don't know until we ask. And letting the hands float to the lap. On your next inhalation, flutter the eyelids open as you feel ready. Raise the gaze, but as we've been doing, don't look directly into the computer. Look around. Look out. If you have a window, look at art. If you have something beautiful in your room, don't be quick to come back to the concentration of the screen. Give yourself a moment to admire something other than the computer. Although admiring computers is fine too. All right, coming back to neutral, let's help the knees up, extend the legs, iron them out a few times. Just getting a little, it's been cold. It's been a very cold spring here at least. And so a little vigorous rubbing can feel nice on the thighs and the calves. Gorgeous. And then you're welcome to keep your socks on. We'll lift and spread the collarbones, take the hands to the floor behind the side, and we'll point and flex the feet. Point and flex the feet. Nice. Breathing. And then coming to the center of the heel, we invert. Inner edges forward, outer edges forward. Right? We know the deal. This is giving us a before picture. We're going to do a little bit of self-massage and then reassess. So come underneath the leg. It doesn't matter to which one. I'm coming underneath the knee and bringing the foot to the floor. And then I'm getting the thumbs into the back of the calf muscle. Hi, Naja. Getting into right at the back of the knee and then working my way down. it's a little bit like you're trying to split an orange. The calf muscle is what's called a bifurcated muscle, which means it's got two sides and they come down into one towards the ankle. But at the top, behind the knee and a little bit further down, it's almost like you're trying to split those two pieces apart. Now you'll get to a point as you start to get closer to the ankle where it starts to form into a singular muscle as it works towards the Achilles tendon. And as you go down, you might find that you have to kind of change your methodology as you get closer to the ankle. You might switch over to one hand, just kind of squeezing down the back of the ankle into the calcaneus bone, right behind the Achilles tendon, all these areas, perfectly good places to get in there. Making sure you're breathing, making sure the jaw is relaxed. Then take another 30 seconds or so on that one spot that felt very intense, right? The one that maybe made you make the face. Ah. Right? You make the calf massage face. Notice if you're still breathing. Yep. Beautiful. Nice. And then let's take loose fists and tap inner and outer calf, going up and down. Getting rid of tension here. You're in charge of how hard you hit yourself. Some people, this is like, oh, it's the best thing that's happened all day. I think it's really nice for clearing out stagnation. Gorgeous. And then finally, we're going to try to jiggle the muscles. So you just take your fingers to one side or the other, and you literally try to jiggle your calf muscle. And you want it to jiggle. You want it to be nice and loose and free, right? Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Maybe you go from both sides, get extra jiggling going. Gorgeous. And then we'll extend that leg, and we want to observe the two legs. And what I notice, and maybe you are too, is that the leg I've worked on now seems to be sitting a little flatter on the ground. And then we'll point and flex again, both feet. So hands behind beside, point and flex both feet. And just notice if there's any difference in sort of the glide of the muscles, the ankle, the foot. Nice, coming to the center of the heel, evert, invert. Maybe you're feeling differences there. Maybe it feels like there's a little more freedom. Maybe not. There's no wrong answers, right? We're just experimenting. It's all information. All right, we have to do the second side. You'll walk in circles all day if we don't. So coming underneath that knee, bringing the foot to the floor, and we start with the thumbs at the back of the knee. So get right up in there and just kind of explore. That's probably a part of your body you don't touch very often. When do you think about the back of your knee, right? And then as you feel ready, you go starting to work down the calf muscle. Down the calf muscle, relaxing the jaw, breathing. Getting into all those little spots. It might feel very different on this side. It might feel similar on this side. Remembering that as we get closer to where the calf muscle turns back into one section, that we might be switching to a different technique with our hand. Maybe we're using one hand, squeezing down, using the fingers and the thumb like a pincer, kind of get around that muscle and then around the Achilles tendon and the calcaneus bone. Nice full inhales, complete exhales here. Don't shortchange the breath. Getting into everything. Ooh. I don't know about you, this side for some reason, I thought I picked the tight side to start with, but this one is singing. Nice. Yep, take another 30 seconds on that spot that was really intense. Relax the jaw. Sometimes the jaw gets over involved when there's intensity. It's a natural reaction, I think. Nice. And then let's take loose fists and tap inner and outer calf. You're going up and down. Ooh. I think this is the leg I stand on more. Maybe that's why. Tapping, tapping. And then we'll jiggle, right? And so you might be going one side, then the other, or maybe you're doing both sides at the same time. You're just kind of using your fingers to knock the calf muscle around. of a fun thing to do. If you've got grandkids or kids that are young enough, you can kind of mystify them with what they can do with their body. I think as adults, we're not much different. All right, let's let that leg extend again. Observe. Maybe now they look a little more even. Hands behind the side, lift and spread the collarbones. And once again, we'll point and flex. Hopefully there's a little bit of a difference now. Gorgeous. Coming to the center of the heel, let's invert once again. It's much different, at least in my experience. Hopefully you're having a similar experience. Gorgeous. And then coming underneath the knees, bringing the feet to the floor. Let's take the feet wide and just do a little swish. It's going to feel so satisfying. All the focus was on the calf. Now we're bringing it up the body. Little swish from side to side. And I think it would be very useful to do a chest opener at this juncture. So I'm going to clear my space out a little bit. I'm going to take my trusty blanket. I'm going to roll it up. So I've got a nice cylinder from behind the bottom tip of the shoulder blades. I take it down onto my mat and then I will free up a block. Got a flat block with the long edges of the block parallel to the long edges of the mat. We haven't done this one in a while. We're going to come back and down. Bottom tip of the shoulder blades go right on that blanket. Arms out in a T shape. Head is on the block. Make sure you're centered. You want a little bit of the block past the crown of your head to perhaps use as a shelf momentarily. You get to decide whether you extend the legs or not. So if you want to try it, you just extend the legs and see how the low back feels. If there's aggravation in the low back, you're not going to stay, right? So if the legs extend, everything feels fine, you stay. But if the low back's talking to you today, you'll re-bend the knees, turn the heels out, turn the big toes towards each other, and let the knees fall into each other, right? That gives you a little more broadness through the low back. If you stayed with the legs extended, you can get a similar action by rolling the inner thighs towards the floor, big toes towards each other. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button helps you to elongate the low back. Everyone can do that. And everyone can turn the lower frontal ribs down towards the floor beneath them and turn their chin towards their chest. Now, if your cervical spine, your neck, your shoulders have been feeling tight today, you might take the head a little left and right. You get this marvelous traction from the head being just slightly higher than the kind of panel of the shoulder blades there. Gorgeous. Bringing the head back to neutral. If it's straight, let's lift both arms up towards the sky. Take opposite hand to opposite forearm like I Dream of Jeannie, and then either take the forearms clear over the crown of the head, or if that's uncomfortable, you could use the forehead as a shelf. It works well, right? If for some reason this arm position doesn't work for you at all, don't suffer. Just take the arms back out and down to the side. You'll still get benefit. No matter where you've ended up, now is the time to attempt to take your fullest, deepest breaths yet. We're exposing all this square footage of lung tissue. It's open and ready for us to explore larger, deeper inhalations, fuller, more complete exhalations. Notice tension in the jaw, the eyes. What could you soften? And then those with legs extended, notice any tension in the front of the ankle. Don't be aggressive with that flexion in the foot. Now make a mental note which forearm is on top. There's going to be a quiz. As you inhale next, reach the arms behind you. Palms of the hands are facing each other. Some of you might be angled more towards the sky. Others straight back, perhaps even thumbs are reaching down towards the floor. Get long. Think of reaching from outer rib cage to fingertip. Another full breath here. And then on the exhalation, we switch the interlace of the arms. Opposite forearm is on top, holding on to opposite forearm with opposite hand. And this might be the side that could rest on the block, or maybe both sides do the same thing. Again, we're just experimenting, right? It's all an opportunity to be a mad scientist in the laboratory of your body. Notice if the chin lifted when the arms went overhead. Draw the chin back down towards the chest. Nice full inhalations, complete exhalations. And then as you feel ready, arms go back out and down to the side. Everyone bends the knees now, taking the feet to the edges of the mat. And then you are perhaps knowing that this is where we might all go off on whatever path we need to. But we're going to start by taking the knees and the head in opposition. Knees go right, head goes left, and vice versa. But depending on your needs, you might linger on one side or the other. You might end up walking your back up and down on that blanket you're on. Still others might feel that lifting the hips and swiveling them in the air feels like it gives them something useful. Right? It all just depends on what feels good to you, and it might be some combination of all of those things as you kind of work through the slumber kinks, right? Like we all probably just came from slumber not too long ago, and now we're getting to kind of work out any of that stagnation that might have developed overnight. Gorgeous. As you feel ready, roll all the way to one side. Use the hands to help yourself up, help yourself out. Let's set up for a bit of Supta Padangusthasana variation. I want a blanket for underneath the head, so I'm unrolling it and then folding it in half like it was when I was sitting on it, so that I've got a nice surface for the head and the neck. Got my strap nearby, my block nearby, and then we're coming to lay back and down. Very civilized. Once you're down, go ahead and take the head a little side to side. That blanket's pulled all the way up to the top of the shoulders, so the whole neck is supported as well as the head. And you're just loosening up any tension that might have developed. All right, coming back to neutral. Let's take our strap. We're going to draw the knee into the chest. Let's start with the right side. Right knee comes into the chest. Strap goes over the ball of the foot, and then we're extending the leg. Just for a moment, extending the leg. Shoulder blades are heavy. Now we are going to use isometric action, so I do recommend wrapping the strap around the knuckles to help to defray any tension that might end up in the arms. We've done this one before. So you're going to inhale here, lengthening the leg, and then go ahead, exhale, and bend that right knee towards the right armpit. I'm not letting the heel of the right foot come towards the glute muscle. Instead, I'm trying to keep my right foot parallel to the sky. It's almost like I had a block on my foot. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't fall. So my elbows bend out to the side, but my knee bends towards my armpit. Now here's where the isometric action comes in. As you inhale, you're going to start to straighten the leg, but with your arms, you're trying to resist it straightening. So you're letting the arms give tension to the leg, pressing, pressing, pressing. Eventually the leg does fully straighten. And then as you exhale next, now the leg is trying to resist the arms as the knee bends back in towards the armpit. And so we're going back and forth like this, inhaling, pressing the leg, the arms are resisting the leg, and then as we exhale and the knee bends, the leg is resisting the arms. And so you're in charge of how much or how little effort you're putting in here. Right? Try to relax the jaw. I know how quickly it becomes part of the equation. Right? You're not alone. It happens to everyone. Right? So we're working on building strength and stability in the knee capsule. Right? So important as our warmer weather brings us into more outdoor activities. Let's do 2-3 more times either direction. Gorgeous. All right, next time the leg is fully extended up towards the sky, pause. Let's extend that left leg onto the floor. Left leg moves to the left 2 inches. Make sure the back of the right leg is fully extended. And then I don't know about you, but my block isn't at my outer right hip. So I'm going to free up my right hand and put the block at my outer right hip. You can do the same. If you're using some other support, put it there. Then both straps can go into the right hand. Right hand has the strap. Left arm reaches out to the left. Palm of the hand faces down. We're going to inhale to get very long. Then as you exhale, that right leg's going out and down to the right. Outer thighs are resting on that block. Hopefully you have enough support. If not, adjust. Closer the block is in towards the hip, the more support you'll have. And then I'm plugging that upper right arm bone into the shoulder socket as I direct my tailbone towards my inner left heel, right? So I'm actively moving the outer right hip away from the outer right rib cage. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button, chin towards chest. We're trying to keep the spine nice and long. Last few breaths here. Roll the lower abdomen from left to right, upper abdomen from right to left. Nice. Pressing the back of that left leg firmly into the ground. One more deep inhale here. And then exhale. Bring the leg back up to neutral. Listen carefully. We're putting both straps into the left hand. Right heel of hand comes to the upper outer thigh. I want you to press the upper outer thigh away. It's going to turn the leg out slightly. Yes. Then keep that back of the right hip connected to the earth. Keep pressing the outer right hip, outer right thigh away, and start to take this right leg to the left any amount. It might be an inch. It might be 2. It's not a big movement, especially if you're engaging with that right hand. It's almost like you're giving yourself your own traction belt adjustment, but instead of a second belt, you're using your hand. Gorgeous. Keep breathing. Nice. Inhale, bring the leg back to neutral. Spread the straps out between both hands once again. You're going to take the leg a little towards you, a little away, a little towards you, a little away. Then listen carefully. You're going to slip the strap off the leg, but leave the right leg in the air. Keep the strap between your hands, pull it tight, and any amount start to take the arms overhead. Some of you, they'll come all the way overhead because the shoulder allows for it. Others, you're going to be at an angle towards the sky. That's fine. Firmly press that left leg into the floor. Press the right foot up, up, up. Draw pubic bone to belly button, navel to spine. And then while you reach through that right heel, you start to slowly, slowly, slowly lower it towards the earth. Every time it starts to feel like your hip flexor's taking that brunt of the load, draw the pubic bone towards the belly button again. Engage through that lower abdominal wall. Keep breathing. I know it's slower than you want to go. Keep pressing through the back of the left leg. Keep drawing pubic bone to belly button. Keep reaching. Keep breathing. I know it gets to little parts where it feels so hard. You have to re-engage. Soften the jaw, the throat. Keep going. Don't let it collapse. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button. You've got this. Nice. Slow motion roll. Eventually you will come to the floor. I promise. It's going to feel like it takes forever. But once the leg lands, take the arms down by your sides and let go of everything. You might take the head a little side to side. Take a deep inhale, a full exhale. Gorgeous. Coming back to neutral, this is an excellent place to switch which side of the body your block is on. We'll bend both knees. Right foot comes to the floor. Left knee comes towards you so you can get the strap over the ball of the foot. And then we extend the leg up towards the sky. We take a moment to yawn open the back of the left knee. And perhaps we're wrapping the straps around the knuckles if we know that helped us on the first side. Then on an exhalation, you just let that left knee bend towards the left armpit. Beautiful. From here, we can start our isometric action. As you inhale, you're pressing that left foot up towards the sky, but you're resisting with your hands on the strap. Then as you exhale, the leg resists the arms as you bend the knee back towards the armpit. Nice. And then you're just going back and forth. You're in charge of the intensity. Keeping the foot more or less pointed up towards the sky. Some of you, the leg's going to be a little further forward. Maybe you're not bending the knee as much. That's okay. Right? We're all just finding our way with it without judgment. Right? It's just an experiment. It's a way to build strength. Gorgeous. Let's do one more. Nice. And then once the leg is fully extended, next time we pause. Leg is fully extended. Then we extend the right leg onto the floor, moving it to the right 2 inches. Make sure that block is at the outer left hip. Then both straps into the left hand. Right arm reaches out to the right. Palm of the hand faces down. We inhale to get long. We exhale to move. That left leg goes out and down to the left. Beautiful. You're plugging the upper left arm bone into the shoulder socket, pressing the back of the right leg into the floor. Feel how that helps you to lengthen the back of the neck. Draw pubic bone to belly button. Turn the lower frontal ribs down. So much to think about. Move the outer left hip away from the outer left rib cage. And then lower abdomen rolls from right to left. Upper abdomen rolls from left to right. Deep, full breaths here. Giving ourselves a moment to just be in the pose. Deep inhalation. As you exhale, we bring the leg back up to neutral. We switch the straps into the right hand. Left hand comes to the upper outer thigh, and it's like you hook the heel of your hand into the flesh there and push it away. It'll start to turn the leg out. And then make sure the back of that left hip is heavy as you start to take the left leg to the right any amount. It's probably a very short journey. We're certainly not letting that left hip peel off the floor. Deep inhale, full exhale. Is the back of your neck still long? Gorgeous. And then coming back to neutral, spreading the straps out between both hands. Take the leg a little towards you, a little away, a little towards you, a little away, and then slip the strap off the foot. Here we go. Tugging the strap between both arms. Take the arms overhead any amount. Reach through the left foot. Press the back of the right leg into the earth and then engage through the lower abdominal area. You have to strongly draw the pubic bone to the belly button, navel to spine. And then as you continue to breathe, you're slowly lowering this left leg. Trying to keep control. Reaching through the heel. Navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button. Keep pressing the back of the right leg down. I know there's so much to think about. Go as slowly as you can, which might be faster than me. That's okay. Nice full breaths. Soften the eyes. And then eventually when you do land on the earth, then the arms come down by your sides. Take a few deep, soft breaths. And take the head a little side to side, letting go of tension. Nice. Head comes back to neutral, and an exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, a little rocking from side to side. And then hands on the bent knees, steer the knees around in a circle, a few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Gorgeous. Then from here we can roll all the way to one side. If you still have your socks on, which is most likely, you're going to go ahead and take them off so that we can have a little traction through the feet. Beautiful. And then as you feel ready, we'll come into our table pose, planting the heels of the hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, spreading the fingers wide. The index fingers are parallel. The rest of the hand spreads out from there. And then mechanical, no. Methodical, yes. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. Gorgeous. Exhale, navel to spine, tailbone and head come down. Going back and forth at your breath pace, might be faster, might be slower. Getting an opportunity to stretch the spine, to move the spine in all directions. Right? That flexion extension, so important for the health of the body, not just the spine. And then coming back to neutral, reaching through the tailbone, the crown of the head. Inhale here. Exhale, wag the tail to the right, turn to look over the right shoulder. Inhale through center, exhale second side. Going back and forth. Beautiful. Nice. Back to neutral. We're going to tuck the toes under, push the floor away, lifting the hips up to downward facing dog. If it feels better today, you could take the hands a little wider, the feet a little wider. Pressing into the hands, reaching the heels down and back. Press, press, press. Nice. Breathing, breathing. And then exhale, go ahead and come down. I want you to have your two tall blocks in front of you. And I know I switched to the far away camera because we're going to work through a little sequence that is going to take us up to standing and then back down. So I want to start on the knees with the blocks underneath the hands. Actually, I'm going to turn around so we can start with the right leg. You just stay facing your camera. We're going to take the right foot forward. Then you're going to tuck the left toes under and reach the left heel back. Yes. And with the hands on the blocks, we're going to work, again, similar to the isometric action we were doing before on our backs. So you're going to inhale to straighten the front knee. Here, I'll show you. Exhale to bend the knee. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. And when I bend the knee, I'm not letting the shin go any further than parallel to the wall in front of me. So I'm not letting the knee go past the ankle. Trying to stay within this little plane of action. Right? So inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. One more time. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. And then you might have to bring your back foot in just a smidge. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see, could we take our right hand to our right knee? And then could you take your left hand to your right hand? Keep reaching that left leg back. And then maybe, just maybe, you could straighten the arms. Here we find that same scooping of the abdomen we were playing with when we were lowering the leg with control. Some of you will stay here with the hands on the knee. Others are going to see, could you inhale the arms up towards the sky? Gorgeous. Then we're back in with that action with the leg. As you inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend, laser focus. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Listen carefully. You're going to take your hands to your hips. Lean forward slightly. You're just going to see what happens. You might have to step the back foot in a hop, and then we're going to come to stand on the front foot and lift the back leg. Lift the knee up in front of you. Right? So you're sweeping that left leg forward, lifting the knee in front of you. Gorgeous. Right thigh back, back, back. And then exhale to release the foot to the ground. Take a little walk around. I know that was sneaky. Take a little walk around. Integrate. Integrate, integrate. Nice. And then we're going to come back down onto our knees. Hands on our blocks. And we start with the second side. Okay? Left foot comes forward. We're setting ourselves up well. So when I bring that left foot forward, I make sure my shin is parallel to the wall in front of me. Then I tuck the right toes under and extend the right leg back. There's a little pawing with the blocks. We want to move the heart away from the belly button. And then from here, we find that first version. We inhale to straighten the leg. We exhale to bend. We inhale to straighten. We exhale to bend. Right? We know it. Right? Building strength, building stability. Nice. All right, next time the knee bends, we pause. And again, if that back leg is too far back, it's going to feel very unstable. So I might step it in an inch or two so that I can feel that stability come through the shortened stance. And then I'm pressing strongly through that left foot as I take the left hand to the left knee. Then if things are going well, I take the right hand to the left hand. And then if I can, I straighten the arms. I'm firming the muscles to the bone, especially in that back leg. That glute muscle has to turn on. Navel to spine, right? I'm scooping the abdomen. And then maybe I can extend the arms up towards the sky. It's fine if you need to keep your hands on the knee. That's very stabilizing, right? But if you can, lift the arms towards the sky. And then we go in. We inhale to straighten. We exhale to bend. We inhale to straighten. We exhale to bend. You're doing great. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Sweep the arms down to the hips. Let your torso lean forward slightly. And again, you might be able to push off with that back foot and come all the way up. You might have to take a couple of steps, but then we're lifting that right knee forward. Straighten that left leg. Left thigh goes back, back, back. Lift through the crown of the head. Breathe. And then exhale. Bring the foot to the floor. Whoo! Take a little walk around. Nice. Roll the shoulders. Shake it out. Well done. Let's take something symmetrical. Let's take Prasarita Padottanasana and we'll do a little twist with it. So I've got my blocks in front of me. I'm facing the long edge of my mat. I'm taking my feet wide. My heel bones are lined up with the back long edge of my mat, turning the big toes towards each other slightly. Yes. And then I'm balancing the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel, lifting the kneecaps up, up, up. And then I'm walking my blocks forward. Walking my blocks forward. And then I'm going to walk my blocks over to the right. Over to the right. We're just going to see what happens. I'm going to keep my right hand on my right block. And see if I could take my left hand underneath my right arm and hold on to my outer right shin or ankle. And then I'm looking to see, could I peek underneath the right armpit? Just seeing what's happening. Still the outer left foot is heavy. Still I'm lifting the kneecaps up, up, up. Nice, and then taking both hands back to the blocks. I travel back through center, all the way over to the left. Trying to walk the blocks as far away as possible, getting all the length I can. Then left hand stays on left block. Right hand reaches underneath to grab the outer left leg. And then I'm seeing, could I peek underneath the left armpit? Right? My right elbow has to bend. The head goes towards the floor. I peek up to see what I see. Nice. Then both hands on the blocks. We come back to center. And then we set up some platform for the crown of the head. So now we'll take the head down towards the floor or the blocks. Hands or shoulders distance apart, right? If you can, the hands are in between the feet with the fingertips pointed forward. And then I'm lifting the shoulders away from the back of the neck, right? We're clearing out the base of the skull. Trying to excavate the back of the neck. Oops, wrong camera. Gorgeous. Solid on the feet, still lifting the kneecaps, spiraling the inner thighs towards the wall behind you. And then coming up halfway, let's heel toe the feet towards each other. Coming back down onto our mat. Let's complete the cycle of inversion. We'll do some variations. You'll either be on one flat block or perhaps a medium block or maybe two flat blocks on top of each other. Coming to lay down and back. Gorgeous. And then press the feet down, lift the hips, slide the block or blocks underneath the pelvis. We'll pause in our bridge pose, right? Feet are hips distance apart and parallel. I like to drive my elbows into the ground for a moment just to draw the shoulder blades towards each other and down the back. And then I can release the arms to the floor, rolling the outer upper arms down, down, down. Nice. Then on an exhalation, let's draw the knees towards the chest. As we inhale, let's press the feet up towards the sky. Reaching through the inner heels, spreading the toes. And then we will do a little variation here because we're kind of ready for it. We've rehearsed for it. So that left foot's going to stay right where it is. You're going to inhale to lengthen the right leg. And then as you exhale, you're going to lower that right leg towards being parallel to the floor. You might be at an angle, right? You might not have come down all the way. That's okay. One more inhale here. Then as you exhale, you bring that right leg back up to neutral. Good job. Last side. Right foot stays where it is. Inhale, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, slowly lower till it's parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Take a full cycle of breath. Then another inhale, and we exhale to bring that leg back up to neutral. Nice. Both legs reaching up towards the sky. Outer upper arms heavy. Giving ourselves a bit of time here to be upside down. Nice. Then exhaling, bending the knees, slowly, slowly. Feet come to the floor. Press the feet down, lift the hips, take the blocks out from underneath you and roll down one vertebra at a time. From here, you're going to exhale both knees into the chest, but take your arms out in a T shape. Right, so the arms are reaching out to the sides of the room, feet are lightly flexed. You're going to inhale here. As you exhale, knees go halfway to the right and pause. Halfway to the right and pause. Your knees are fairly close to the chest. And then I want you to think of rolling those outer left ribs down to the floor. Right, so it's a strong rolling of the outer left ribs down towards the floor. This is a variation of Jatra Parvattanasana, or stomach churning pose. Gorgeous, building up to the full version eventually. Let's inhale through center. Exhale, second side. Both knees go halfway to the left. And then we're rolling the right ribs down, down, down. The corseting muscles of the abdominal wall have to all come together. So front body, back body, sides, everything coalescing towards the midline. Gorgeous. Then inhaling through neutral. This time as you exhale, the invitation is take the legs all the way to the ground. So you might need to prop at the outer thigh, or some folks like to put a block between the knees. You might unbend at the knee or the hip. Then you're letting the gaze turn to look out over that left arm. Taking full deep breaths now. Gorgeous. And then we'll go to the other side. So we're going to inhale through center. Exhale, second side. Both knees go all the way to the left. Again, prop in any way you need to. Adjust the position of the legs so that it feels comfortable. And then turn to look out over that right arm. And then inhaling back to neutral. From here, take the soles of the feet together, reach through, catch the ankles, little version of Supta Baddha Konasana, drawing the heels towards the pelvis, letting the knees open wide, pressing outer shoulder blades down towards the floor. And then maybe it feels good to take the head slowly, slowly from left to right, releasing any tension through the neck and the shoulders. Beautiful. And then coming back to neutral. If there's any last little actions the body would like to take before Shavasana, please feel free to do it. Otherwise, we're setting up for a nice Shavasana. I'm taking a folded blanket behind the back of my head. I've got my socks ready to go back on if I lost them. Maybe I'm taking the flat blocks underneath the upper thighs. Maybe I'm taking another blanket on top. Again, if you're in New England, it has not, we have not got, at least in Maine, it has not gotten warm yet. We've had like one warm day and that was it. And then the rest of them have been very chilly. So cover up as you need to, get yourself comfortable. And then before we fully commit to stillness, we're going to open the mouths wide, stick the tongue out. Stretch the jaw, stretch the throat, stretch the tongue, right? We don't usually do, we do it at the end of every yoga class, but this isn't something we normally do in the course of our day. So really give yourself an opportunity to stretch this area and then draw the tongue back into the mouth. Let just the lips come back to touch and then let go yourself completely. Let loose yourself completely. Let yourself rest here in stillness and silence, knowing now there's nothing to do. Now there's nothing to do. Letting one strand of your awareness come back to hear my voice. If you feel like you need more Shavasana, you're welcome to stay right where you are. Don't listen to me, just hang out. Others, you do feel ready to move on with your day, and if that's you, you're going to start by deepening the breath. Don't be in a hurry to just pop up. Give yourself a gradual ramp back into your day. So deepening the breath, starting to move fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And then on an exhalation, you draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug like you were hugging your very best friend. And then slowly, mindfully, roll to your right side. Pause there for a moment on the right side. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel those qualities of stability and structure. And then use the hands to help you. You're going to push yourself back up to a seated position. tailbone descending, crown of head ascending. Let's take the hands together in front of the heart, palm against palm, fingers elongated. Lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones, and on an exhalation, let the chin move forward, let the chin move down. We're bowing to the seat of the soul. We're bowing to that divine inner wellspring of kindness, compassion, patience, and joy. The light in me is deeply honored by your light, grateful for your practice, and humbled by your presence. And in case no one's told you yet today, I love you, and I'm convinced of your capacity to continue crafting a life worth living. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Thank you all so much. That was wonderful. You did so well. We really brought the ruckus, as it were, right? We brought the extra something